The whole world was left in absolute disbelief when Alexandra Eala, the young Filipino tennis sensation, made headlines by comparing her level of fame to that of international pop superstar Taylor Swift. For years, Alexandra has been quietly carving out a legacy on the tennis court, showcasing a rare combination of talent, determination, and composure well beyond her years. From her junior championship triumphs to her steady climb in the professional circuit, she has already amassed an impressive collection of victories, trophies, and accolades that reflect not only her skill but also her relentless dedication to her sport. Yet, despite her growing reputation in tennis circles, the recent statement comparing herself to Taylor Swift ignited a firestorm of discussion across social media, sports forums, and mainstream media outlets. People everywhere began to question, was this bold comparison an act of confidence, a playful expression of ambition, or an audacious declaration that signaled Alexandra's readiness to embrace a global stage beyond the tennis court? The statement, made during a widely viewed interview on a popular tennis channel, immediately went viral. Clips of Alexandra discussing her perspective on fame and influence circulated rapidly, with thousands of comments pouring in within hours. Some viewers were taken aback, interpreting her words as a sign of extreme self-assurance, while others celebrated her fearless articulation of confidence in her abilities. Alexandra's comments, however, were nuanced. She didn't claim to possess the exact global recognition of a music icon like Taylor Swift, but rather she highlighted the idea that her impact, particularly within the realm of sports, was reaching a level of cultural significance that could transcend traditional boundaries. This distinction sparked a broader conversation about how fame is measured in modern society, particularly in an era where social media amplifies influence and young athletes can command attention comparable to major entertainment figures. To understand the gravity of Alexandra's statement, it is essential to explore her journey. Born and raised in the Philippines, Alexandra demonstrated remarkable talent from a very young age. Her early years were marked by an insatiable hunger for excellence, grueling practice sessions, and a level of discipline that few children her age could comprehend. Her rise in the tennis world was meteoric, winning junior titles across Asia and eventually earning recognition on the international stage. Each victory not only solidified her reputation as a prodigious talent but also positioned her as a role model for aspiring athletes in her country and around the world. As she progressed from junior competitions to professional tournaments, her charisma, sportsmanship, and on-court tenacity further elevated her profile. By the time she made the comparison to Taylor Swift, Alexandra had already built a significant following, with fans appreciating not just her athletic skill but also her authenticity and relatability as a young woman navigating the pressures of fame and competition simultaneously. The interview where she made the statement offered insight into her mindset and approach to life. Alexandra explained that she viewed fame as an acknowledgement of the work she has put in and the influence she can wield, particularly among young fans who look up to her. She spoke candidly about the responsibility that comes with visibility, expressing her desire to use her platform to inspire, educate, and motivate others. Unlike many athletes who shy away from discussions about celebrity status, Alexandra embraced the topic with grace and self-awareness, acknowledging that while she may not yet occupy the same global space as a music legend, her trajectory and ambitions are firmly aimed toward creating a lasting impact. This perspective resonated with many, especially those who value substance over spectacle, as it reflected an understanding that true influence is not solely determined by numbers or social media metrics but by the tangible ways one can touch lives through passion, performance, and authenticity. The reaction to Alexandra's statement has been diverse and multifaceted. On one hand, sports analysts and commentators dissected her words, exploring the implications for her personal brand and her position within the tennis world. Many noted that her willingness to speak openly about fame reflects a shift in the way young athletes approach self-promotion and identity, demonstrating an awareness that sports excellence and public influence are increasingly intertwined. On the other hand, casual viewers and pop culture enthusiasts found the comparison fascinating, sparking debates about the nature of celebrity in the 21st century. Could an athlete ever achieve the same cultural resonance as a music superstar? Some argued that Alexandra's growing social media presence, combined with her consistent success on the court, positions her uniquely as someone who can bridge the worlds of sports and mainstream entertainment. Others remained skeptical, pointing out that the global reach and multi-generational impact of a figure like Taylor Swift is unprecedented and perhaps incomparable. Regardless of perspective, the conversation itself highlighted the evolving landscape of fame and influence, where young athletes are no longer confined to niche sports audiences but have the potential to become widely recognized cultural figures. In addition to public reaction, Alexandra's statement also caught the attention of sponsors, media outlets, and fellow athletes. Endorsement deals and brand partnerships increasingly consider not just performance metrics but also an athlete's visibility and relatability to target audiences. By framing herself as a figure capable of commanding attention beyond tennis, Alexandra has positioned herself as an attractive partner for brands seeking to engage younger, digitally savvy demographics. Moreover, her peers within the tennis community have expressed admiration for her confidence and vision, noting that such self-assurance is rare and can serve as a catalyst for further growth and recognition. Interviews with coaches and mentors reveal that Alexandra's mindset is grounded in humility and a desire for continuous improvement, indicating that her bold statement is part of a larger narrative about ambition, resilience, and strategic self-positioning in a highly competitive environment. Beyond the immediate reactions, Alexandra's comparison to Taylor Swift invites a deeper examination of the intersection between sports, culture, and celebrity. Historically, athletes have achieved fame based primarily on performance, while entertainers have relied on cultural influence, media saturation, and fan engagement to attain global recognition. Today, however, the boundaries are blurring. Social media platforms enable athletes to cultivate personal brands, communicate directly with fans, and influence popular culture in ways previously reserved for musicians, actors, and influencers. Alexandra's comment underscores this shift, highlighting that young athletes now have the opportunity to be more than competitors. They can be trendsetters, role models, and symbols of aspiration for diverse audiences worldwide. In this context, the comparison to Taylor Swift is not necessarily literal but symbolic, representing Alexandra's awareness of the potential to leverage her platform and visibility to effect meaningful impact both on and off the court. Moreover, the viral nature of the statement reflects the global fascination with young talent and the allure of bold declarations. Media outlets from multiple countries quickly covered the story, analyzing not just the words themselves but the cultural significance behind them. Commentary ranged from celebratory to critical, with some framing it as a confident affirmation of ambition, while others viewed it as a daring move that could provoke scrutiny. The rapid spread of the clips and subsequent discussions on platforms like Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok highlights the speed at which narratives around fame and identity evolve in the digital age. In many ways, Alexandra's statement became a case study in modern celebrity, illustrating how a single comment, delivered thoughtfully and strategically, can spark global conversations about talent, recognition, and the evolving nature of influence. Equally significant is the broader societal conversation sparked by Alexandra's words. Discussions emerged around the pressure young athletes face in the age of social media, the challenges of balancing authenticity with public image, and the ways in which fame is quantified and perceived. For many fans and commentators, her comparison to Taylor Swift became a springboard for exploring themes of ambition, confidence, and self-worth. Educational discussions about role models, representation, and the influence of athletes in shaping cultural narratives gained traction, further amplifying the impact of her statement beyond traditional sports commentary. Alexandra's ability to inspire reflection and dialogue indicates that her influence is already reaching beyond the court, touching on meaningful societal conversations that transcend athletic achievement alone. From a personal perspective, Alexandra's journey exemplifies the intersection of talent, hard work, and self-awareness. Her decision to address fame candidly demonstrates maturity and strategic thinking uncommon for someone of her age. While her comparison to Taylor Swift may have seemed audacious to some, it also reflects a deep understanding of her brand, her audience, and the evolving dynamics of global recognition. Alexandra recognizes that fame is multifaceted, part performance, part perception, and part influence, and she approaches it with the same dedication she applies to mastering her tennis game. This mindset positions her not just as a rising star in tennis but as a figure capable of shaping conversations about ambition, success, and the role of athletes in the broader cultural landscape. The implications of this statement for Alexandra's future are profound. As she continues to compete at the highest levels, each victory, public appearance, and media interaction contributes to the narrative she is building about herself. By openly engaging with discussions of fame, she establishes herself as a forward-thinking, self-aware athlete who understands the power of perception and influence. This approach may open doors to opportunities beyond tennis, including endorsements, media collaborations, and philanthropic ventures. More importantly, it sets a precedent for how young athletes can embrace visibility strategically, using their platforms to inspire, educate, and shape cultural discourse rather than merely chasing numbers or superficial recognition. Ultimately, Alexandra Eala's comparison of her fame to Taylor Swift serves as both a reflection of her growing influence and a statement of intent. It challenges traditional notions of fame in sports, underscores the importance of self-confidence and authenticity, and invites a re-evaluation of how global recognition is measured in the modern era. The response from fans, media, and the broader public demonstrates that such statements can spark meaningful conversations, encourage reflection, and inspire a generation of young athletes to embrace their potential fully. Alexandra's words remind us that fame, while often associated with entertainment, can take many forms and that influence is earned not only through achievement but also through vision, courage, and the willingness to engage openly with the world. As we continue to follow Alexandra's career, it is clear that this moment represents more than a headline, it is a cultural milestone. The world is witnessing the rise of a young athlete who is unafraid to speak boldly, embrace her ambition, and challenge perceptions of what it means to be famous. Whether or not her fame eventually rivals that of a global music icon like Taylor Swift is ultimately less important than the conversations she has started, the inspiration she provides, and the example she sets for future generations. Alexandra Eala's journey reminds us that talent, determination, and confidence can propel individuals beyond their immediate spheres, allowing them to leave a lasting mark on the world and redefine the boundaries of influence in ways both profound and unexpected.